Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always, and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we made one of the best items in the game of the Wand of Animation, which allows us to animate blocks, which at face value doesn't seem all that exciting, but when we can animate blocks like Neutronium, and Awakened Draconium, and Vibratium, and what was the other one we got? There's something else. I have it on my inventory. Octuple Compressed Cobblestone, and we can capture them in Safari Nets and auto-spawn them. It becomes a lot more powerful and, well, honestly, a lot more broken. So yeah, we have a handful of animated blocks ready to go and ready to be kind of awesome and amazing and whatnot. So yeah, what do we need to do? Well, we need to automate that stuff. And so as you can see, I've already started getting some stuff ready. So I have a little area here built so that we can start spawning in all of those blocks because let's go through them all. Awakened Draconium is a pain to get. I don't want to have to do Dragon Hearts and go get Dragon Hearts from the dragons and then do the ritual to empower the Draconium. If I can get Awakened Draconium, it's going to be a lot easier. So yeah, that's the reason for that one. Octuple Compressed Cobblestone is the one that we're going to use the most because that's going to be our EMC. Octuple Compressed Cobblestone has an EMC of, what is it? It's really insane. 43 million per block, where we were using Bedrockium, which is less than 1 million per block. So obvious upgrades there. Then we have Neutronium blocks, which these guys, while are nice and easy and passive, are very slow, giving us a tiny pile, which, reminder, that takes 81 of those to get a single ingot. But yeah, they take I think like 6 minutes per tiny pile, so they take forever. We have a stack of these machines going, and it's not really enough. We'll probably let those still work regardless, but that's why we have Neutronium. And then the final one is the Vibratium, which is pretty important because, well, villagers. So Vibratium is made from 2 enticing crystals, which is 2 villager souls. I don't want to have to, capture villagers all the time, so we're going to use that too. So we have 4 different things, and as you can see, I have a little wall here. We'll get to that soon enough, but basically I want to be able to auto spawn these guys all the time whenever I want and be able to toggle them on and off. So that's what we're going to work on today, first thing anyways. So let's go ahead and get that going. So first things first, we're going to put 4 auto spawners like so. Now I'm not too worried about, like, hey, that one still has power, about, well, much of anything, to be honest, with these guys, because like fall damage and all that kind of stuff, I'm not too concerned about that. By the way, if you're wondering, this essence brick, which is kind of the motif over here, we have essence brick for the villagers and for the other mob spawning. But the basic idea is just kind of having these towers. But this is cyan colored essence brick, so just so you know. But yeah, so I don't really care about fall damage. If that becomes a problem, if we have too many of these things, we'll worry about it then. But what we're gonna need, and I've got to decide where I want things to be at. I have power under here, so we probably will go ahead and use power. We'll just pull power over. So I think this side is probably, yeah, I would have lined it up. So we're gonna break this block, and we're gonna want this to be facaded, but we're gonna want a handful of facades. So let's get a few. A stack should be more than enough. We're also going to want some conduits of various types. Let's start with just a stack of each and go from there. So these are obviously much more expensive. Item conduits. Let's go ahead and get a stack of those. And ender fluid conduits. Let's just get a stack of those. So everything else we should be okay with. So let's get this guy taken care of. We're just gonna want one of these. I meant to just do one, but whatever. And then we're gonna want, let's get 4 of the conduit facades like this. So that should be everything we need with that. We'll probably need, actually we probably will need one more facade that is the smoky quartz, and that should be fine. So yeah, let's start building this stuff. So first thing we need to do is we do need to get power, fluids, and all that kind of fun stuff to these guys. Power lines, and we'll make sure that the fluids are insert only. That should not be too much of a problem. And anytime we want to add more of these guys, we just, well, come do it. And then these are for the sides, but we'll get to that in a second. But if we want to turn these off, which we do, we're gonna need some other things. So we're gonna need redstone, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use insulated redstone conduits. So where do we want to put this? I mean, we could put it right here. Oh my gosh. My inventory immediately filled up with all the junk from this mob farm. So let's try to get this stuff kind of taken care of. One of these years I'm gonna probably rebuild this, or at least do some lighting in this guy, so that I can turn the mob farm on and off at will. So we're gonna have a grinder right here. And this is what the other conduit facade is for. So let's do this. And we'll want some power, as well as item and fluid for this guy. But the fluid is only going to go like right next to it. Actually, let's put this right here, and then we'll put the fluid underneath it, and that will be fine. So that'll work out quite nicely, actually. So this will be an extract, always active, extract, always active on both. And that should be fine. So presumably all we need to do is connect this wire over, the power line over like so, and this is going to go to here. And then the item, how do we handle the item collection? We have ender fluid, ender, there's an item conduit somewhere, right? I really don't want to go grab my Yeta wrench, but we might have to. I don't think I had items really doing anything with this, because this is a slaughterhouse, not a... Right. So we need to figure out something for items. I think probably the easiest thing wood to be connected over to here. But that seems like an awful idea. What's this tesseract connected to? It is connected to main. And we could send out items, but the question is, are we receiving items somewhere? That I'm not entirely sure about. If we are, that's probably down below. So that is not. I don't see anywhere we are receiving items. So unless we wanted to do something like put an ender chest, which we could, we do have an input here, but it does go into the wrong thing, effectively. I'll have to think about item transfer. That's not as big of a deal currently, but it is something we'll need to kind of consider. I could put it here, put it on green, green, green. We're getting plenty of items. This is getting pulled out quick enough. Oops. Let's get rid of that. This is getting pulled out quick enough. And depending on how many items we have, we could just put them in this line. Because I believe that will still work. So 3, 6, 7. Yeah, so this line will still work. So we could put them there. That I think is going to be the best idea. So we're going to need some green dye. We're also going to need whatever the other dye is, but we're going to need an ender chest. And I guess let's go ahead and just put that right here. And this is going to be insert. And we want this to be green, green, green. So we should see all that stuff in there. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and get rid of the item conduits because we don't need those. We'll put it back here. I picked up the wrong one. But this should be extract, always active, and insert. Perfect. So I'll just need to teach the system over there about those items, and we'll just have to make sure it has plenty of space for it. I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. We can just grab some. We should be done with item transfer. We should be done with power. Should be done with that. Should be done with that, presumably. We're gonna want one more facade of that smoky quartz, actually. So let's grab that, and yeah, so what was it we needed to grab? We needed to grab, see, awakened draconium. I don't have any vibranium. Neutronium? Nope. Or how about the last thing, which is compressed cobblestone? We do have one of those. So we're gonna need some upgrades. Excuse me. Both void and other. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the system to make those. No big deal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just max out all of these. We still need a few more emerald. Let's see, upgrades. Let's go ahead and craft a few of those. It's going to take a lot of resources and whatnot, but oh well. And this should be pretty much it. So they're all filled with upgrades. Perfect. So last thing we need to do, because the system will actually see this, we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's put the awakened draconium on the bottom, octuple compressed cobblestone on the top, and we can store a ton of that. So that is going to be good. So let's grab our last facade, and the last thing we need to really focus on is the automatic nature of it, which we are going to have. I think that will be, I think that'll be here. Whoops. And what we'll need is insulated cables to come through this spot. And let's go grab a piece of smoky quartz. One day I will finish the actual base itself, but whatever. For right now, that's a little tedious work. It's not something I need to do immediately, type of thing. So we'll put that there. Let's get this here, that there, and that there. Cool. So the last thing we need to do is run redstone cable. And this is where things get a little complicated. So on the redstone, we're going to have a strong signal. We're going to have different colors for the in out. So we're going to have red for one. Green. We'll just go down in the line. Strong signal. Brown. And blue. So, these guys are all on spawn exact copy. That is necessary, because if it's not on that option, then it will not work. But what we can then do is just put a line of redstone like so, and we should be able to go ahead and do this now. So we'll just put facade, 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 and facade. So now we need the last ingredient, which is the wirelessness, because I want to transfer the redstone signal from up here. So I can just come over here, turn on and off. I don't have to turn my magnet off and deal with, you know, the mob spawner, the mob tower rather. So I can just go over there. The other thing we need to see is we need green, green, green again. Okay, not a problem. 3 greens, cool. So we need to make wireless redstone. So we're gonna make the redstone transmitter and the redstone receiver. So these things are pretty useful. So there's the transmitter, and the receiver, we of course need the repeaters, or comparators actually. Let's be smart about it and use actual nether quartz and not the pure stuff. And there's the receiver. Now we're gonna make a couple copies of these guys. Oh, I thought we could. Okay, well, whatever. Let's get another one of these. And we'll go ahead and make a handful of these guys. So 35, 36 should be enough. So we're going to need 4 of each of these. 1, 2, 3, and 3 of those. Perfect. So the receivers will be down at the bottom. Now, which one do we have to... So, right-click a transmitter to link. Alright, so we'll just put the transmitters right down here. Now the question is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll link this to channel 1. And how does it place? Perfect. Channel 2. Actually, let's pick these up. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this will just be like so. And for the time being, we'll just kind of do one of these. And this is where things get a little bit complicated. So we need to make sure these connect. And we started with red, so let's do the top being red. Struggle signal, and then green, brown, and then blue. So basically what's happening here is we will be transferring signal. So receiver 1 over there, or transmitter 1 over there, we'll send it to receiver 1 here, which will send a red signal, which will be the top one, I guess. You know what? Let's reverse these. Nope, 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 nope. So let's reverse these. So this will be red, green, brown, blue. Alright, and then as we go up, or we can even make other like towers, we'll just kind of go on with the colors. And we can have up to as many as there are colors. So that's the idea anyways. Now for the time being, we're going to want to do something like this. So that this guy cannot spawn above it. And let's just go ahead and make this one taller. I'm not too worried about things spawning and getting out, but you never know. Now there is one other consideration to keep in mind, and that is the grinder has a fairly limited range. It's a 5x5 range, so it's only going to... So I should probably put this stuff on the other side. I might switch that later. I don't know yet, but I can fix that two ways. We could just use fans, which I think is what we're going to do, at least for the time being, or we could use impulse plates. Which could be fun, I think. I've never actually used them, so I don't know. But it's definitely a thing we could use. Alright, we have 46 fans. So these things do require a redstone signal. So I guess let's get some levers. I tried using a wireless lever. It didn't seem to work, to be honest. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for the time being, we'll just put levers. Alright, cool. So now all we have to do is hook these guys up, and I want to do this something like 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I want to do this? Because I could do something like, let's turn our magnet on just in case. We could do something like this. But the problem is I want to invert it. I said that weird. I want to invert the signal. So 4 is here. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? No, that is 3. So we want to reset that, and we want to click channel set to 4. Perfect. There we go. That will work. Alright, let's turn our magnet off, get rid of all the crap we just picked up. And... right, I need to do this. And we should see all of these guys have essence. Cool. So the next thing we need to see is what I want is an inverter. And that is presumably... no, we want a NOT gate. Which should be pretty easy to make. We make one of these, we can easily make as many as we need. And just get that taken care of. Cool. We have a single NOT gate. We can then put that in here and make a few. We're gonna need 4 for right now. So we'll see if this works the way I want it to. Now I believe these should not, presumably, interfere, but we're gonna want different colors of wire. So this stuff can be changed into different colors, I do believe. How do we get this stuff? Oh, okay. Never mind. So we're gonna want... let's see. Insulated wire. Let's see if that'll work. I really don't know if it is going to work or not. What color wool do we have? We have some magenta wool. Let's get... let's see, we can get brown wool, we have plenty of that. White wool we have plenty of. We can get lapis. And let's go for lime. Why not? Alright, so now we just need some red alloy ingots. Let's get like 100 of those because why not? And what we'll do is we'll just hook this up. So there's white insulated, lime, blue, and brown. So ideally, we should be able to do something like this. And because these are both from Project Red Project, whatever, they will work. But since we have insulated wires, they will not like connect. So presumably, we flip one lever, and let's see. I don't know if this is actually transmitting or not. So let's head over here. So we should see that number 4 is... are any of them idle from redstone signals? No. So let's just try, if we break, let's turn this on for a second. If we break this, and that, so Wire 4 is on, so the top one should be off, correct? No. That's not how it's supposed to go. Let's see. Oh, it would help if I actually connected them. That would be important, I think. So now the top one should be off, correct? Channel 4. I mean, we could always... Let's test it fully with, like... I want to see what this looks like when it's... Okay, so that's lit up now. Now it should be. So it's a lot of just trying to troubleshoot where the issue is. So if I replace this again with a NOT gate, we should see the NOT gate is activated. Yes. And I've put another NOT gate next to it. It should not interfere at all. Because this is an output, not an input. I don't know if there's a way we can change that or not, but that means that the top one should be active. And it is. If we go turn the wire off, it is no longer active. Perfect. So we might have to run wires like completely around. If that's the case, whatever. For right now, that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't look the nicest, but it's fine. It truly is. It doesn't matter too much. This is very little aesthetics and more just kind of purpose right now. I tried to make the blocks look nice, but that's about it. So, which, by the way, I really love these essence bricks. They're some of my favorite blocks that I've seen in this mod pack. Like, they look so nice. So, I have a feeling I know a way to make these things work, but it would not work by having them side by side, at least not with the insulated wire. We could probably do it with the Ender IO stuff, but I don't really want to do that. So the last thing we need to do is get some signs. Let's just throw this stuff in here. It doesn't really matter. So what are we going to put on channel 1? I think channel 1 should be, let's see, octuple, compressed cobblestone. Number 2 will be neutronium blocks. Awakened draconium blocks. I ran out of room with that one. And then let's see if I can spell it. Vibrantium blocks. I believe that's how it's spelled. Yes. Cool. So that's the order we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. So let's turn these things off for right now. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use the fans permanently or not. But let's put this stuff in here. Make sure spawn exact copy is on. And we can just put all 4 of these guys in here. We'll then turn the fans back on. This is just to push them closer to the actual like grinder. And yeah, I will probably reverse where the pillar and all the wires are, just because that will make more sense. Since back here the grinder is not going to do anything. I think that'll be better. So everything should be hooked up. Let's see if it works. So if we want to summon in octuple compressed cobblestone blocks, we should see those guys spawning in momentarily. It will take them a second, but presumably they will spawn in, and there is... Oh, they are spider-like. I did not realize that. So let's turn this off. And the grinder is working. Now presumably we're gonna get loot bags. But we are getting octuple compressed cobblestone blocks. Okay, that is something we can handle. So let's go ahead and turn that off for right now. Let's do the neutronium. Let's do all of the other three all at once. So we're just gonna have to wait for them to get into range. The impulse plates might be more useful. So there is neutronium. Oh man, this is so cool. The only downside to this is it is going to go through our resources of mob essence, just because it does require exact copies. There's neutronium, there's vibrantium, and we'll just wait for a little bit. There's more. There was a draconium. Cool. So we now have access to all of these blocks in mass quantities. All we need to do is come over here and put neutronium and vibrantium in there. And then we need to deal with these loot bags. Because nothing that we are getting from that chest will typically have loot bags. And I'll be honest, we have plenty of loot bags otherwise. So let's get a trash can. And we'll deal with this. So in the coming episodes, I am going to kind of wait around, farm up a bunch of octuple compressed cobblestone, kind of in the background, and as in between episodes if need be, just so that we can get things set up, so we can start automatically making just a ton of things. So we just need a chest, and then what I am going to want is, oh cool, these are all the same thing. Let's get a advanced item filter. Let's actually get 2, and we will put one here. Let's see, fuzzy mode, let's see, or dictionary, do not match MTB or metadata, and we'll see if that works. Because what are we using here? It's underneath. I have to remember how this works. I have this set up. Alright. Come on. Precision movements are difficult, and the mobs are very loud. Alright, so I just have a basic one with a whitelist of all of them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they just went a rare. If we wait long enough, we'll get one. I want that. You can have that. Alright, so maybe we can just use normal. I just need a rare. And we can deal with it. So, cool. Let's just get some item filters, some normal ones, and we'll be able to fix this up, no problem. Okay. So what we will do is item filter. This will be a blacklist. Actually, this one will be a whitelist because this is the one we're going to use for the trash can. And we're going to blacklist this so they don't go in there. And then we can just put a trash can like so. Let's go grab another item conduit just so that it's a little bit nicer. And yeah, this will be fine. So place that there. Put this on insert basic item filter, whitelisting all those so we can just delete all of the loot bags, and yeah, everything should be fine. So this is definitely a system that's working. I want those right now, those two. Definitely is a system that's working. Could it be better? Certainly. Does it really matter? Not really. I might want to raise the roof on this one more block. Just to be safe. Are we going to be getting... if we get Minnesota, that's fine, actually. So, we'll just make sure that... Minicio, rather. That's something we can also put over there. But I don't know if we're going to get that or not. I'll kind of keep an eye on it, and if we do, that's fine. We'll deal with it, but I don't think we will. But cool. So we're going to be getting plenty of neutronium. Let's turn our magnet back on. Plenty of neutronium, which we already have 12 blocks of. We have 15 blocks of octuple compressed cobblestone. Oh man, this is going to be really nice. So kind of the next plan of action, I would love to get the infinity armor. So the infinity armor requires a bunch of infinity ingots, neutronium, and infinity catalysts, which the infinity ingots are basically infinity catalysts. Is the main ingredient. So the big thing that we're going to need with this, Gaia Spirit, which we're going to see if that is EMCable, not EMCable, duplicatable. I don't believe it is, but we're going to need to automate some stuff, like the internal singularities, the cosmic meatballs, the ultimate stew. We're going to need to automate the runes, and just basically go through this and get it automated. Now, luckily, there is an automatic 9x9 crafting table, the Dire Auto crafting table, and it does require a Chaos Catalyst. However, we have been lucky enough to get not one, but 4 of those things. So we can make 4 of these guys if we so choose. We will make at least 1, probably all 4, because once we have that armor, we don't take damage, like at all, so who cares? We can then go kill the Chaos Guardians and make more of these Chaos Catalysts, because the big thing we need from this that we don't have access to currently is the Chaotic Cores, which requires Chaos Shards. So that's kind of a pain to do, but at the same time, we can live with it. So definitely is something to kind of look forward to. Yeah, I'm going to need to do something about these guys. But with all of those spawn, let's go ahead and turn those off real quick. And I just want to see, are we getting Minicio from them? So they're all gone. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of rework with this, but for the most part, it's fine. No Minicio. So, I have no idea if that's going to be a problem or not. So, I guess we'll leave it on for now. And yeah, next time we're going to make a bunch of neutronium compressors and work towards some really nice things. So, more automation, all that fun stuff, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!